church would find new zeal and commitment to the mission and purpose of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You're a liar! You're a liar! Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart.
Well, it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen, for the Political Pulpit. I'm your host, Josh Navarrete, and it's so good to be back here on the program, bringing to you the very first presidential address to Congress, this time around as President number 47. President Donald Trump gives an amazing speech, and we're going to give you our reaction live as it happens. And as you're watching it, you get to see all the great and amazing things on probably the greatest speech, or one of the greatest speeches that Donald Trump has ever given. And here we are. Before we do that, though, I want to make sure that you all like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell when you're on YouTube. You can subscribe, that way you get the push notifications. And anytime we go live or we update new content, you'll get notified, and that helps us break through the algorithm. And while you're at it, why don't you take a look at www.politicalpulpit.com/partner. You can partner with our program, partner with us as a Political Pulpit partner to help us get the word out, the message out, and continue on the show and continue on with everything that we are commissioned to do by getting the word out, getting our message out, and by partnering with us, it helps us to do that. So thank you so much to our partners who are already jumping on right away, got on and decided they wanted to partner with the Political Pulpit and this show. We want to thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let's get right to it. President Donald Trump delivers his first presidential address on the Senate floor. It's a joint session of the United States Congress, and it's his first one as president number 47. So let's go ahead and take a look as he takes the podium. He's already did his walk-in, they did the announcement, he's greeted Vice President J.D. Vance and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, and of course, all of the Republican Party is standing in solidarity with America and President Donald Trump. Thank God for President Trump. Huge standing ovation, of course.
Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States,
much different than the wild outfits of the last
members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
Yes, it is. America is finally back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank God. Lots of work to do. Lots of work.
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started. Thank you. I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like that.
I love it when he says, the likes of which we've never seen before.
The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
Historic win. Huge, huge victory.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Looks like Representative Green heckling the president during his speech.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Okay, sir.
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded.
Mr. President.
A 41-point jump.
He is not relenting. Look at him.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Get him out of here.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Time to go, sir. Okay, I want to say one thing really quick while they handle that. Marjorie Taylor Greene did something similar, but she at least stopped and didn't continue on. At least now they're removing this guy. But that's how deranged the left is. I mean, Representative Al Green rather get kicked out and get a news coverage.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Anyway,
Thank you.
let's go back to the president.
Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100.
Real quick, it takes the left to go crazy and act ridiculous to try to make a scene because they don't know what else to do. They're absolutely deranged. It's Trump derangement syndrome. It's an actual condition that these people are suffering from. They're so far gone, so far left. that they can't see that the American people got tired of their policies and their way of taking it to the American people. So good on President Donald Trump to continue, and good on Speaker Mike Johnson to kick him out of there.
100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it. In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency,
Yes, sir. I love that.
is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many. And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever.
Thank God. We stopped the invasion. Just like that, President Donald Trump stopped the invasion of our southern border with a stroke of the pen, just as he promised.
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do.
No.
I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
Save Medicaid. Ridiculous. I shouldn't allow to have signs.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Come on, stand up.
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Good.
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
That is huge. That's huge. We cannot just do away with gas-powered vehicles. That would kill so many jobs, and it's not realistic.
To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term. And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job. And we have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out?
Not so good.
Not too good.
Not too good. We literally tried to break him by prosecuting him over and over and over with fictitious lawsuits.
And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back. And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America. I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
That's awesome. Literally the Gulf of America. It makes so much sense.
And likewise, I renamed, for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer.
No more woke nonsense. Of course, the left's not going to stand for that.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
It's about time. back to normalcy. People are saying President Trump's not normal. That was not normal. God created man and woman, period.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
That's right.
Three years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
Good. Oh, he's in the room. Crazy. Oh, she's next to J.D. Vance's wife for second time.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman.
Gosh.
For a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
That's common sense. Thank God for President Donald Trump. No more men and women's sports. It's not that difficult, people. And for you there on the left and anybody that doesn't agree with this, I question your
What I have just
compass.
described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again. Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous
Brooke
administration.
Rollins.
Do a good job.
Come on, Brooke. She's a good friend. And that was just amazing. Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins.
A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
American jobs, American manufacturing is back. It's all back, ladies and gentlemen, because of President Donald Trump and America First policy.
And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency.
Good.
As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Drill, baby, drill. Let's get that liquid gold out from under our feet and into American hands. Coal, manufacturing, oil,
My
gas.
administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA. To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars. And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah.
DOGE.
Doge
Perhaps
is in the
you've heard of it.
house.
Perhaps.
Rooting out government fraud, waste, and abuse. Saving taxpayers billions.
Which is headed
And he's in
by
a suit.
Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe.
That's awesome.
They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
Gosh. Unreal.
This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda.
Golly.
$14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. Should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
Whether you like it or not, DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, is getting rid of waste. Those are just some of the things that President Donald Trump has listed that highlight the waste and fraud in America. And
we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things.
Good.
Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time.
Into America.
This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation. And we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149.
That's unreal.
And money is being paid to many of them, and we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid, and nobody does, and it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old.
Man.
We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
They're living almost 200 years old. They better be healthy, and they're getting payments. Unbelievable.
Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229.
That's crazy.
One person between the age of 240 and 249. And one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country.
Crazy.
But we're going to find out where that money's going. And it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
Amen.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years. balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
Yes. Once that's done, talk about panic on the left, because we can't hide from the greatness that America is about to witness.
With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
Good. The best of the best coming over, and they're paying for it, paying American tax dollars, bringing more American jobs. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Americans have given us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk-takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again. And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately.
Not playing games.
Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Good. Unelected bureaucrats. Time to go and drain the swamp. They're pointing at Elon Musk.
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that.
Put it on there.
But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax. Thank you. It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
Gotta do it. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. Got to get it done.
And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
Ooh, that's good. That is awesome.
And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world. And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country, first term. We had a great first term.
Love what it says here. Last week, Honda announced plans to move.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them?
Yeah.
And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was, and so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Yeah. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them.
So most people don't
If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out.
Real quick, so most people don't even know, you guys can keep it on the screen. Most people don't even know that we're already being taxed and tariffed amongst these other countries. It's been going on. So those that are freaking out that President Trump is putting tariffs on goods and services and products from other, not services, but products from other countries like Canada and Mexico, this is not something that's new. They're doing it to us all the time, and we send more money and military aid to some of these countries. This needs to be done, and reciprocal tariffs is a genius idea, and maybe it'll stop them from holding tariffs against us. I don't know if you saw, Honda is moving its manufacturing plants to Indiana, I believe it said, to avoid tariffs. So now we got more American jobs. It all works. This is how it should go. And I support it. So President Donald Trump, we need to get behind him, support him, and pray for him, and believe that this economy will eventually turn around. It might get worse before it gets better, but this is exactly what we need.
Of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. Mm-hmm. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China, and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer. Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. Mm-hmm. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA.
$1.7 trillion in investments.
And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people, and they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to. Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer.
Yes, sir.
Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in from other countries and companies. They're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen.
So one thing I think American people need to know, that our farmers have suffered for the last maybe 10, 15 years because of regulations, because of imports, and because the government making it extremely hard for our farmers. And we cannot ignore that, where now it looks like, even with tariffs coming, that it puts crops and agriculture back into the American farmers' hands, where they can grow, expand, and make an honest living, so that we can feed the American people. We have enough land, enough agriculture, enough resources to do it here in the United States. And so why not? Why not do it? I'm going to skip a little bit ahead. President Trump went an hour and 40 minutes. But we want to continue to get you all the highlights and important. All of it was important, but we want to make sure we give you solid reactions.
We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that call of duty. Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Congratulations, Jason. What a life-changing moment. Beautiful moment for him. Rest his family. Rest in peace.
And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
Wow. What a crazy way to find that out. That's huge. That's awesome. I can't believe it.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland.
Wow. All
made in the USA.
That's huge. We don't have our own Iron Dome, and finally I think we have a Golden Dome.
And Ronald Reagan wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. Yeah. And other places, they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim, right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it.
Reclaim the Panama Canal because
just today, a large American company
that's been taken
announced
away
they
from us.
are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die.
Wow, that's crazy.
The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco.
Good luck, Marco.
Now,
He's doing a great job, by the
we
way.
know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes.
Yeah.
You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you.
He truly is. He's doing an amazing
He's
job.
doing a great job.
Thank God for Marco Rubio. Cheers to him. That's awesome.
Great job.
Awesome, awesome.
And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Mm-hmm. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
Yep.
Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
There you go. Take out the terrorists, take out their leaders. Don't negotiate with terrorists. You just take them in, you capture them, and you put them where they belong. True American leadership, true American strength.
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster.
Good.
This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown that when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call. Every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords. And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight.
Yeah.
The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Unbelievable.
2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans. But I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine, by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that they wouldn't have stopped it and said, at some point, come on, let's equalize. You got to be equal to us. But that didn't happen. Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
This is the president that's going to bring peace between the Russian and Ukrainian war. I know last week was absolutely crazy and people were freaking out over it, but this is what we needed. We needed a strong president to not play any games and not give in to this spoiled brat, Zelensky, and just hand over billions of dollars to this guy. It needed true American strength, and that's what we're getting. So thank God for everything that the president has done in this situation, and it looks like we may be getting peace soon. So let's jump ahead a little bit and take a look at what's happening here.
And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day, we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in, and for the country our people deserve.
Fight, fight, fight. Fight for your country, for your American dream, for your American values, your Christian values. Let's continue to fight for America. I love it. Fight, fight, fight. That's so awesome.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Yes. God bless America. God bless you. God bless President Donald Trump. Probably the greatest speech that you have witnessed in your lifetime. You can see all the yahoos on the left exit right because they can't stand to watch us win. And a lot of these people are deranged and absolutely lost their marbles. But whatever. President Donald Trump, we're doing it. We fought hard. This is what we needed. And we need to continue to champion American and Christian values like that.
Thank you very much.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be in studio number 1 in Dallas this week. Hopefully we can catch some episodes for you guys. Continue to pray for us, partner with us. And we want to see God win. Really, that's what it is. We're not loyal to a party. We're not loyal to a president. We're loyal to Jesus Christ. And we want to make sure that his message be glorified and his name be glorified, even in America and in the halls of Congress. We pretty much follow through President Donald Trump's speech today just to get you some of the important pieces. We have some more clips to show that we will give you throughout the week. But remember to partner with us at www.politicalpulpit.com/partner, and you can either one-time donation or join us for a monthly donation to keep the message and everything that God is doing in our program going. You can also find us on Only Source Network. That's OSN.TV, and we will be featured on that app, programmed throughout TV in Dallas, Nashville, Houston, and other cities to come. So we want to thank you. God bless, and we will see you soon. God bless.